Hello everybody and welcome back to PGL Tavern Tales Spring Edition. My name is Nimsh. I'm here with Lothar and Moody is joining us on the couch.
Hello guys, hello.
How are you doing, man?
Right now I'm doing really good. I hope I will do the same tomorrow.
Alright, and just watching the next match because the winner of the next match is going to be your opponent.
Yes, I'm gonna study him.
So you can actually give your input here on what the style of your opponent will be, right? Because then you
Yes.
can adjust your own style against your opponent. So it's kind of valuable to have you here right now to see and hear what will be your thought process about your opponent.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch them really closely.
Alright, and talking about your opponents, Lothar, who's playing next?
We have Tessin and Unid. We actually played against Unid in the Millennium Cup, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Unid is a player that I faced a couple of times before, and he was from the beginning of Hearthstone. He was one of the top French players, I believe, from Gamers Origin. Played testing with the Fichu a lot and with the rest of the guys from the team.
They're kind of close, right? They're all close.
Yeah. They do test a lot, and overall the French community is really close, and they mostly exchange. They don't come out of the French, I think, community that much. Like they're mostly known in France, and even if I was in France a couple of times, they are like local celebrities. They have a lot of respect from all the viewers, and like for example, the French casters, they are also really revered by the French community, and not that many people know them outside of the community.
But that's very similar to other games as well, because you can see the same situation in CS:GO, an example where the French scene is kind of like in a lockdown in the French community, but it's very well like developed inside the country. So it's not developed outside the country to the bigger audience, but inside the smaller circle, it's really well developed.
Absolutely. And then there's Tessin. Moody, have you talked to him?
I actually met Tessin right here. I didn't know about him. He seems like a friendly guy, but I have no clue what he plays, what is his playstyle. So I'm about to see.
All right. I know that Tessin was actually discussing a lot of matchups and approach to the game with Crane before, and he was pretty happy with the matchups because the players, as usual, could change their decks. But we actually sat down with the players and asked them some questions, so let's see what they have to say for themselves.
Hello, I am Unid. I am 23 years old. I come from France. I've been playing Hearthstone since the beginning. I'm a professional gamer and a streamer for Gamers Origin.
My name is Tessin. I'm 20 years old from Denmark. I play for the team 33d Esports.
The PGL qualifiers was a lot of cash prize, a lot of good players. It was last year. It was the DreamHack Bucharest, so it has a good name to it. And I just wanted to try to qualify to, I don't know, travel and try to do my best.
I practiced a lot with my partner Dark Shadows, and then I spoke with Navi Hoy about the setup and how we should do it. So I believe it's working out so far. So let's see if I can win tomorrow.
I think the best player in the tournament, the best players are maybe Thais, Crane, and maybe Vince, who is a up-and-coming new Hearthstone French player. He's really good, so yeah, maybe Thais, Crane, and Vince.
Yeah, I'm totally familiar with Crane since we are from the same country. We played against each other before, and then Gara also from Temperstorm. But I believe Thais got a big chance of winning. He's for sure a really good player, and he's the only one with 5-0, so I'm looking forward to play against him.
Today I went 3-2. I think I did a lot of misplays and I didn't bring a good lineup. I think I got lucky. For example, against Powder, who is a very good player, I went 3-0 with a Flamewaker Mage deck, which is really bad. I think tomorrow I will bring a better comp.
So far, I just like to compete against the best players in the world, and it's going good so far, and my friends are doing good as well. So.
I really like the honesty and the unit saying, I got lucky, I didn't play well, but for today I'm ready, I'll bring a good lineup.
Yeah, now I'll take it serious.
Well, he did take it serious, but probably he faced something that he didn't expect fully, right?
Probably. Well, you know, that can happen when you just predict the metagame in a bad direction, right? And then you're caught off guard, and you're like, oh God, I should have prepared more for this tournament. But he has redemption, right? The chance of redemption, because now they can change the whole lineup, and that will be also the case for tomorrow. So they are aware that they're bringing this lineup, probably only for today.
Right. And Moody, what do you think about Tessin? He has some powerful friends. He was talking with Hoy. He was preparing with Crane as well. Do you think he has a better chance to win than you need?
I'm not sure about their playstyle, but based on their lineup, I think Unneed's Priest can 3-0 Tessin.
All right, so the priest is the deck that can actually 3-0 this lineup.
Yes, if the Warlock from Tessin is Zoo, if it's Rhinolock, we saw
how it usually ends.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends also how the priest is being built, right? There's a lot of things you can tweak in the deck. Some priests don't even use Flash Heal, an example, so and this card might push it to the limits when it comes against Reno or Jackson Warlock, because it might caught off guard the Reno Jackson, right? Because he might be just dead by 2 kill commands for 2 mana.
Yeah.
An example, right?
Absolutely. All right, guys. Game number 1 is starting, and Unit, in fact, starts with that priest deck that you mentioned, Moody. But this start from Tessin is quite explosive.
Well, this is like double Secret Keeper is something that you would usually love to see when you have at least 1 secret. So he hopes for a top deck next turn, right?
Yes.
He needs that 1 secret.
But Minibot isn't that bad either, so if he doesn't top deck, he still has.
Have Avenge.
Well, there was like 1 to 7 chances to have a secret, 1 to 8. Depends on how many secrets does he play, but this looks awesome. I would definitely go for the Secret Keeper and Avenge this turn.
Yes, me too.
Okay, I will not disagree with you guys here. By the way, the one thing that Unit mentioned, he said that Vince can be one of the best players in the tournament. We haven't seen him on stream yet, I believe, but he is in the top 16. He will play later today, so I got suddenly really excited to see that match as well.
Well, we have 4 matches, not counting this one, for the later for the second part of the day, right? So
yeah,
still a lot of matches.
All right. So Elite Star Seeker, is it an auto-include in this kind of priest at the moment, Moody?
I think it is because basically Priest now is made with heavy removals like Ocean Eye Circle, Entomb, what is it called? The
Light Bomb.
Light Bomb, yes. Yeah. And then you throw Elise for the late game to win against Control Warrior. And
okay, and it's always good stats as well for mana 3/5. It's not bad when you play it. Excavated Evil, wow.
That's really good against Paladins.
So you think this matchup is in favor of Priest overall?
I would say it's like 55, almost 60 for Priest.
Okay.
Just because they have a lot of they have very much removal, and they can entomb Tyrion, and Paladin must pressure Priest really from the beginning, but it seems that the Tessin already succeeded with that.
Yeah, he is pressuring, but on the other hand, we have this coin Excavated Evil that can just clear the board because Tessin didn't get a secret.
That's actually a huge deal, because now the Excavated Evil will not trigger the Avenge, so the board gets kind of reset, and hopefully for Tessin there's an easy way to fill the board, and because there's Masterful Battle and Hero Power, and I guess that's better than the low tap in this situation, because your opponent played a secret with a coin, so he would like to develop minions on board right now, and having more minions after your opponent plays an AoE is better for the Mysterious Challenger, Avenge, and Redemption, and Noble Sacrifice next turn, right?
Yes, I agree.
Alright. I wonder if Unit is having some interesting cards in his deck. So Excavated Evil, is it a standard in this kind of priest, or is it more of a French deck?
I think it's more of a French deck. I haven't seen many priests with this card.
Alright, that's really cool, because like we've mentioned that the French community is really closed and they mostly talk against within each other. But like overall, my experience from WoW TCG and Magic is that the French community just brings new decks because they think as a one big organism, and they feel like some decks are better than others. And I also feel like from that experience that they are more control oriented overall. as players? Do you guys have the same impression?
No, I have no idea. I will agree with you.
Okay.
I didn't play any other card game.
And in Hearthstone, would you say that French players are mostly aggro-oriented or control-oriented?
I would say control-oriented.
Yeah, that's actually true. Like, but you can say about it, like when you compare the metagame in other card games too, between North America and Europe. Usually, North America is like swimming in aggro decks.
Yeah.
When Europe is like, yeah, we're the elite players. We're playing control decks. We don't care about aggro. It's kind of like a very narrow-minded thing to say about players in general. When Europeans usually trash talk aggro players, right? Because piloting aggro decks also requires skill. It's just a different type of game for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do agree with you that Europe is more defensive in with regards to trying to have answers in decks to specific situations. Like Europe will be more tempted to play Big Game Hunter, for example, where in US the decks sometimes just lack Big Game Hunter, and the players accept the fact that well, if I cannot answer it, I cannot answer it. My strategy is to basically kill you as fast as possible.
Yes, but something interesting I observed, like these regionals, I think that Europeans brought more aggressive decks than the Americans.
True. So maybe it's not exactly true for Hearthstone.
But did you remember the first regionals? Like the one that lasted till 6 AM? Because all the European players brought only control decks?
Yeah, I do remember that. I want to forget Lothar. Why are you keep reminding me?
Because it was a interesting situation when every single player from the pools of 16 brought only control decks, and every single match was 3-2, and every single game did last for at least 30 minutes.
I do remember that Priest versus Shaman game that the players just were hero powering till I lost consciousness. Okay, this situation though is still pretty good for the Priest. Paladin lost the Mischief Challenger on 2 secrets and can stop some attacks with Lothar, but is slowly running out of cards.
And there's the Belgian Justica, which I love in this situation. Both of them are really nice just to play on the board, and that's it. But the draw of the Northside Cleric will also change some stuff, because now the Ellie Starseeker is a good drop also, right? You get a card from the Pyromancer, you get to drop a 3/5 minion and to draw a card.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he can also go for Justica Trueheart. It's not like this Lothar is going to do much overall. Even if it goes for face, you have those heals.
I would say that from this point the Priest will just add value Paladin and will answer every threat until the Priest just can't lose anymore.
Wasn't it better to play if you were planning on playing the Justicar, I would have probably played it first for the Repentance. Because then your opponent would have to finish it off with the weapon, right? Most likely.
Well, it does counter Lothar on board. So basically having it as 6-3.
But you have, like, you're playing the Priest that has a ridiculous amount of answers to minions. So you're not, you don't want exactly to be trading with each other because you have Light Bomb.
You know, like, if you're in such a great position overall this game that if Elise can kill Lothar, that's pretty good for you. But yeah, like, in this situation you can actually expect Noble Sacrifice. What was the secret?
Noble Sacrifice?
Is Noble Sacrifice?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's Noble. So we see the second Excavated Evil. So that means I need tech against probably Paladin and Zulox. And so
Most
far,
likely.
yeah, and so far it seems that it's working.
And he wasn't playing Priest before. I think he didn't have a Priest in the lineup. I overheard Tessin talking to Crane about overall lineup from Unit, and he was happy that Unit did take Priest because he felt like he's now in a good spot overall. But Crane did tell him that Priest might be your problem, and I agree with Moody here that Priest is this deck to beat. So Unit can actually free off with Priest.
It all depends if the matchup against Druid, because the Light Bombs against Druid might be kinda too slow.
Yes, and I saw Harrison also in Priest. Light Bombs are not that good against Druid.
The same goes for the Excavated Evil,
exactly. So basically I need tech so hard to beat Paladin and Zulox, but I don't think his matchup against Druid will be that good anymore. So if I have
Druid
to,
will be taken right now.
yeah, if I
match.
have to guess after this match, Tessin will take Druid and probably will have the upper hand.
Okay, but then like we have Warlock and Warrior for units, so this will be interesting what he will play and if he changed anything else, because he was playing Mage before, now he's playing Priest. Maybe he changed, like he kept the classes but he changed the decks.
Ooh, I don't like that. I would just play one of the weapons of hit face. How do you want to win? The weapons will not get you the value that you need, and your deck is filled with 2 Excavation and Evil, so your weapons probably won't be targeting any kind of creature at all.
But do you do anything with those weapons if there is if there is this heal anyway?
But you need to build some form of board control and pressure at the same time. So those weapons, you have 5 turns of weapon swinging, and the game, if it will last 5 more turns, there's no way you're gonna win.
But then the Cockhammer can actually, like I would like to have a bigger minion on board to play Cockhammer, like something like a Belcher at least.
Then you go for the Crucible champion.
And just deal 4 to face.
Yeah.
And he heals.
And that's another weapon.
Yeah. I would say that Tessin wants right now to give maximum value to the weapons and kill, like to gain board control.
Yeah.
I think his plan is never swing face, but he doesn't know he's playing against Elite Starseeker.
Exactly.
And if you're playing against Elite Starseeker as a Secret Paladin, you won't win late game. So from his point of view, this might be correct, but we are seeing both hands, and probably swinging face was the correct play.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing what's going on.
I don't think the Elise has such a big impact here, because even a single Cabal Shadow Priest Entomb or Entomb practically will swing the end game in the priest's favor.
Yeah, that's true.
Entomb onto Tyrion is such a nasty play if
Yep.
it happens.
I'm not sure I would play Tyrion, just because I would be scared of Entomb.
So you would try to bait out double Entomb before you
Yes,
play Tyrion.
maybe
On
they
the
will.
1/1s.
Yeah, maybe they will Entomb the 1/1s.
He casts Entomb for fun because it's such a great position. Oh man, Excavated Evil, like giving Paladin Excavated Evil also like is quite funny.
It does mess up their draws, right?
Yeah, that's actually true.
What do? You play Excavated Evil?
Well, he actually found a way to use it, but
It's horrible.
and it's going back to Priest.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
the priest has another AoE sweeper.
True. Oh man, I really like this match. We see cards like Excavated Evil, which is not well often seen, and Elite Starseeker, I'm super happy that she actually made it, because Sirfindi Murgleton has a place in Shaman, an Agri Shaman, and it works. Then Bran Bronzebeard is being heavily played, Reno Jackson is heavily played, and Elise is like this 4th explorer that's not explored enough, let's say. So I'm really happy that it's actually now. Did I really say that?
Yeah. 1 damage to the face. Look at that. Priest is actually at 25. He's almost at the starting level.
I would say Tessin's plan right now is to get as much information as he can, to get information what this priest contains. So I think in his mind he gives up. Yeah, he gives up, but he wants to see like precious information, like the second light bomb, like I don't know which cards, like who knows.
Yeah, he did see Elite Starseeker, that's some knowledge. He did see double Excavated Evil.
Well, don't even have a way to kill the Abomination unless he will use the Keeper of Ulduman on it. Or on your own minion.
I think it's better to use it on...
Yeah, because you get less damage.
Exactly. You still get 5, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that much. So yeah, just trying to prolong the game, but the good news for Tessin is that there is only 3 cards in the priest's hand.
Oh no!
It's alright, it's very fun. You know, there is no Entomb for now. So maybe if Tessin actually gets Dr. Boom... Oh, there is an Entomb, alright. The game is not over yet. And whatever Tessin does, he's still okay in a way that he's getting that information, even though he looks really bad on board.
I would just clean up the board or just go face.
He wants to give Tessin another excavated evil.
Yeah.
That's a nice gift from Unid. And I just noticed that Unid is actually watching Tessin, and this is one of the advantages because those players sit face to face, so you can watch your opponent and see how is he behaving, is he really in a bad mindset. And Tessin is mostly looking at the game and shaking his head, so maybe he didn't give up yet. Like, he's still in the mindset like, I'm losing, I'm gonna lose this.
Second Museum Curator, that's also precious information. Because when you play double Museum Curators, you almost always play Valence Chosen as well, because it's a great minion just to have that turn 2 drop into a Valence Chosen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, well, that's a good draw, but unfortunately...
You can't play it.
I wonder what's the value of mental exhaustion. Like, from Unit's perspective, you do trap your opponent in this match he can't win, but he still hopes he can win. So he will try to really think super hard how to win this unwinnable match, and after that he'll start making mistakes because he will not have enough stamina, mental stamina, to continue, and will just do like even make more mistakes.
Yeah, he will get exhausted, and maybe because of that he will make misplays in the other series.
Exactly, even the ones he's actually favored to win.
Yeah.
Harrison Jones shows up late to the party. It's like most of the weapons were already
Most
used.
of the weapons are gone, and then
Harrison Jones like, yo, hello bros. Are there any weapons left? Back to full health.
actually that's really interesting. Not trying
Not to use
to
the
play light bomb or
Entombed,
Entombed.
right? Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too.
Like, you don't have to, right?
the thing is now you can trade into Sylvanas and try not to take boom. Like for example, hero power, trade with the boom bot, trade with the creeper, and then we have I think 1 out of 4 or 5 to take the boom. So yeah, he will do that.
Maybe he's doing it specifically to like open Haunted Creeper.
Yeah, exactly. To have more chances not to take boom. So
And of course it won't work.
And Tessin is just devastated. It's like, I
and
did
1 damage to the face.
I did so much.
I mean, we all know that didn't really matter.
yeah, that didn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, Tessin might not know that. He is still hoping.
Oh, we didn't attack first. If that minion would have taunt.
The thing is, if I was Tessin right now, I would be glad that bad RNG goes to this game and not to the others.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably statistically, you should have some luck in the next RNG outcomes, right?
Absolutely. I like the sportsmanship from Tessin, though. He is really emotional, and right now I think that was actually needed for him because he was in a really bad spot mentally, just shaking his head and then just punishing himself when he was playing versus the Priest. But after that, Sylvanas stealing Dr. Boom, he just was like, okay, this is it. He basically reached the bottom and bounced off it. He was like, okay,
Hopefully.
that was a fun game. Let's have another one.
Well, in the interview, he said that he wants to have fun here, right? Like he's here to play against the best players on the board and just compete, have some fun, get the experience, and that's about it. So hopefully he will get what he wants.
How many excavated evil did we see?
Like 800.
I think we saw 4 at least. Because there were 2 from the Priest, and there was 1 from the Paladin, and there was 1 more from the Priest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, against the Druid, they should not matter that much.
Yeah.
Because the free damage
They kill Shade of Extramus.
after 1 turn, sure. Well, it actually matters with Valence Chosen. Because then it's 4 damage, so it can clear Azure Drakes, and that's about it.
I'm not sure Ranid expects to win against
The Druid.
yes, but it's a really huge advantage that he won the first game. So I think his plan was just take the first win and
Yeah.
then go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And he can still win versus Druid. It's not like it's an unwinnable matchup. I do agree with you guys fully. Druid has an advantage, especially if it has a good start. Like, Priest will just be... Like, there will be no tools to come back just to fight versus those 4 attack minions, even like 2 attack minions. But if Druid actually doesn't have a great start and Priest has a good one instead, maybe Northshire Cleric, into that Curator, into the Valence Stones that we haven't seen but we suspect is in the deck, then Druid will have trouble.
Well, the Museum Curator is one of the most important cards in the Priest deck right now against the Druid, because it can give you Palta Shudders, it can give you Belchers, and can give you...
Dark Cultists even?
Yeah, Dark Cultists. Like, every single of those creatures will be very helpful against Druid in general, because as we know, Druid needs to hardcast damage to deal with creatures. They have no removal, there's no Entomb, there's no easy way of dealing 5 damage to a minion, unless you use Swipe in a Hero Power or something like that. It's actually... I'm quite surprised.
I'm actually really surprised. Maybe...
We spent like 5 minutes talking about Druid, and now it's Zoo.
Maybe he has Aggro Druid?
I think so.
I don't
but
know.
But would be better anyway.
Probably it would be better, yeah.
Because you don't care about the Excavated Evil, it's too slow.
Yes.
It kills 2 of your creatures, maybe 1.
I'm even more surprised because Zoo is actually a bad matchup. Like, Priest is a bad matchup for the Zoo, especially with this kind of start.
Look, there's the Valence there's the Zombie Chow Curator into Valence Chosen.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Maybe he has Egg Druid?
Egg Druid, Moody.
Okay, Egg Druid is great against Excavated Evil.
I don't know.
I think the problem here might be that he was really talking to Crane about it, and Crane said, I didn't hear what Crane said, but Crane said that Priest can have a good matchup versus your Druid.
Not this one, though.
Not this one. But he might still be in the mindset that I talked to Crane. Crane told me Druid is bad. I will pick my other deck.
Well, usually the Priest is great against Druid if it plays own big minions. So it's Dragon Priest, an example. That's like the best Priest against Druids in general, because they're playing the same game as Druid is playing, but they're better at the minions, at their own minions, right?
Yeah.
That's about it. By the way, I'm quite surprised that he played the Forward Shield instead of the Curator, or just Shadow Word Paint that.
Well, you can play Curator at any moment, right? Like, you can even go for Valence Chosen next turn, and then coin out the Belcher after that. So Zombie Chow, like a big Zombie Chow, is mostly a problem for the Zoo deck, unless you have an Iron Big Owl. But then, like, you want your opponent to silence Zombie Chow overall.
I mean, before the draw, I just wanted to point out that the Forward Shield is great for your Pyromancers, and he just drew one.
I think as a Priest you can be a little bit greedy and try to Shadow Word Paint the Imgang boss, because maybe that's the best value on like in the Zoo minions, to Shadow Word Paint the Imgang boss. So maybe he expects Imgang boss, and then Shadow Word Paint gets really good.
Yeah, that's right. But right now, after that implosion for 2, like, he really needed to hit it for at least 3 to be able to kill this big Zombie Chow, because Unit is just going to slay the minions and heal the Zombie Chow.
Even with a good implosion, you're still losing the board to a Pyromancer, and it doesn't look good anyway.
True.
I mean, this is like the most horrid scenario for the Zoo player, but judging by the way how you need build the Priest and how it's going, like further into the game in the future, like it's a Belcher, it's a Shadow Word Paint and Curator at the same turn, it looks horrible for the Zoo.
This is actually my worst nightmare. I would, if I am 0-2 and I have Zoo against Priest, no, just
look at that.
I'll
Heal the Pyromancer, Shadow Word Paint the 2/4, and you clear everything.
Yeah, and you still have your amazing board. The thing was, like, if there will be no Pyromancer, then he had a chance with a good implosion into maybe Gormok, deal 4 damage, start taking back the board, and even have the Sea Giant after that. But the reality of Tessin at the moment is that he has a dead Sea Giant in hand. Gormok that doesn't do much, it's just a 4/4 stats. And, well, some small minions, but this board, on the other hand, from Unid is still really threatening.
Yep.
And the long game actually favors Unid.
Yeah.
He will get more removal cards.
And Priest Hero Power when you have board control is like really good.
Alright, so the slaughter continues. What will be the best play here? Welcome to the observatory.
Oh, that was the Dark Cultist we talked about. Paladin Sky Golem is also awesome, but kind of too slow against the druids. Sorry, against the zoo. It would be awesome against druids though.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Wobbling
Dark
runs.
Cultist.
I actually like that card,
Take the runs. Yeah, we see the runs. Oh man, I love this card. This card is great. We had a similar card in WoW TCG as well, with like a pyramid. When you kill it, it's just falls, creates free dudes. It was a bit better because they actually had powers. Those guys, they do not have powers, but they are pretty cool overall.
But they don't have the same name.
Yeah, yeah, they're like 3 different dudes.
3 different dudes, yeah.
And they are pretty good versus Zoo because they have like it's kind of like a delayed force of nature.
Yeah.
So it's really good to have creatures who to attack. That
The thing is, if priest plays that card, as a zoo you don't want to kill it because when you kill it, it's actually it's more pressure than leaving it alone.
And they have like being a 2/6, they can kill a lot of things before they die.
And
so
you just heal the
exactly. Oh man, just hero power pass. Like, what are you expecting to do even? Just play a lot of small minions and Gormok something?
I would favor just the Harrison Jones here. Well, you don't have the Alkenai yet, so you can't really rely on a burst right now.
In theory, a True Heart puts more pressure on board. One more attack.
Okay, yeah, that's true. The one more attack might actually matter.
Actually, Tessin doesn't know about Harrison, right?
Oh yeah, right.
So maybe he just because he's ahead, he just want to not to show Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter because your opponent. Well, he can have Jaraxxus, but it's more unlikely. But the druid will have no weapons at all.
What was he expecting to draw? Was there an Excavated Evil being cast before? Not really.
No.
Tessin, Excavated Evil does not stay in your deck. You have to play cards, man. So next turn he will be able to play some small minions. Alright. But it's still, he's still in bad shape overall. So now we can have some good trades.
It's slow and steady.
Yeah. Like you need had an opportunity to go for face, but now he doesn't have to. Like his absolute aim is still just to kill everything that can be played.
Yes, you can outvalue Zoo really easily from this point. So you just clear the board always, and if you have spare damage, you go face. And
Armbigal for Death Lord.
When you think about it, 2 Death Lords is like a half of a hero power.
Yeah, you have to go
Sorry, half of a hero. So 16 points of health just put on the board for 6 mana, and you have to plow through that to get to the zombie chow that will heal your hero. Highly unlikely.
Yeah.
To do that actually.
That was absolutely devastating. And but I do agree with you guys. He did pick Zoo into Priest instead of the Druid. But this means that right now he should have a good matchup.
I don't think so, because if he thought he had a good matchup, I think he would have played Druid. So I'm not sure, but
we'll have to see.
He thinks his Druid is worse than Zoo against Priest. And this should be horrible for him.
Well,
that'll be hard. If he doesn't get the ramp, then maybe we'll see this similar opening, because Druid, if it doesn't have the ramp, it might have trouble dealing with Zombie Chow with Valence Chosen as well.
Yo, like the opener with a huge HP minion should be horrible to deal with for the Druid, unless he gets a Keeper just to silence the minion. But then, still a 2/3 minion if it's a Zombie Chow. If it's a Curator, then 1/2 minion doesn't really matter. But in general, you always need the ramp in a Druid, right? You always need that.
Yeah, definitely. You're mulliganing for the ramp.
Exactly.
Maybe he plays Ramp Druid and he's afraid of light bombs and tombs, and he thought his Zoo deck is better than his Ramp Druid. I'm not sure.
You are telling me that someone would deliberately put out a Force of Nature and Savage Roar, an example, from his deck?
Would he just searching for those Druid lists that can be there?
Even Ramp plays like 1 Force of Nature, 2 Savage Roars, or 1 Force of Nature, 1 Savage Roar.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful. But in general, I would have not sacrificed those cards in a Druid deck at all in current metagame.
That's nodding his head. It's like, oh, finally a good matchup. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. If he gets the Wild Growth for the turn 3 Piloted Shredder.
There's a good opening for Uni though. Turn 1 Zombie Chow, always nice.
Turn 2 Wild Pyromancer is always good. Against a Druid, it's still a body that the Druid needs to deal with. So if he doesn't have the Keeper, it's basically, when you think about it, when you play Zombie Chow into Pyromancer, it looks like you're playing Zoo.
Yeah, I do agree with you absolutely. It's like a bit different Pyromancer than versus Paladin, because versus Paladin you'll need the AoE, but versus Druid you're happy with free attack.
Yep, exactly.
Do you agree, Moody?
Yes, I think Priest is really consistent because his top curve is at 6.
Yeah.
And it's like a zoo deck but with a different purpose.
True, that's a fair point. And there's a good opening as well for Tessin. So he got that Wild Growth, but it's probably not a Wild Growth this turn. You just...
yeah, you just pass.
Yeah.
But his opening hand is awesome.
It is.
2 Piloted Shredders into an Engine of Law or Dr. Boom. That's perfect scenario.
And Unit is lacking turn 3 at the moment at least, but there's going to be a Wild Growth, so he'll be able to push for
He has
them.
2 turns, basically.
Yeah, he needs something like...
Death or the Villain Chosen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he needed.
Well, missed turn 3, that's sad.
Ooh.
Even Innervate.
Dr.
Options.
Boom right now? Why not? There's
Why
no
not?
Entomb.
Shadow
the only
Word
answer
Death.
would be Shadow Word Death.
Actually
But-
clears the board, but
Yeah, but then most likely the bombs would clear the minions, or at least one, right? And your opponent is off curve, because he used 3 mana on the turn 4.
I would do it. You're down 0 to just YOLO. You need to win some games with your luck.
Especially because you will not really need the Innervate in the coin. On turn 5 you have Belcher if you want to, or one of the Shredders. On turn 6 you have Shredder with Hero Power or whatever. So it's not like you really destroy your hand because you threw away Innervate in the coin.
Yeah, you still have a good curve.
And you still have an Ancient of Law to replenish those cards used to play the Dr. Boom on turn 3. I mean, let's just listen to the sound of this sentence. Should I play Dr. Boom on turn 3?
It sounds great, but Tessin is afraid of the Shadow Word Death apparently, so he's not going for it. There was one more advantage for Dr. Boom. Entomb is really far away.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to play Dr. Boom, I think that was the... because if he plays on turn 6, then Priest is drawing more cards and he has enough mana.
Yeah.
So
how does Dr. Boom on turn 4 sound like?
Well, now he has to play. Oh my god. You don't need cards right now. You have cards. You have even a Dr. Boom, which is like 3 cards in 1. So...
Well, this is something that can happen sometimes when you're with your back to the wall. People tend to get super secure and defensive, and not playing Dr. Boom just shouts to his face, he has Shadow Word Death, I'm afraid of it, I'll not play my Dr. Boom into it.
Or even heal with the Ancient of Law.
Yeah, he's playing really safe, and I think it's not correct to play safe when you have this hand and you're like I don't agree with not playing Boom there.
We have to also remember that he was afraid of this matchup to begin with. Like he felt this is a bad matchup for him. Okay, this is still a nice board overall, but what can Unit do now?
Actually, unit hand is pretty bad with double Cabal Shadow Priest that are useless right now.
Actually, Excavated Evil wouldn't be that bad this time.
Yeah, actually.
Interesting. Wild Growth, well... and now, if he plays Dr. Boom, because it's turn 7, then it's most likely getting Entomb, right?
It's most likely getting destroyed. And or either Entomb or Light Bomb.
Yeah, both are open now. But it's still not a bad play, especially because you can deal with Belcher easily with this board, and then you have Pilot Shredder, which is not contested by the 1/2. But then, like, if you play Dr. Boom, it actually gives Priest another card. He can attack with the Acolyte at one of the bombs.
I think I would play Druid of the Claw here, because I know his... if I know the Priest has really situational cards, I don't want to give them value.
Yeah.
So if I play Druid of the Claw, he probably won't Entomb it, and he probably won't like light bomb.
Yeah.
So that means his priest next turn will just hero power pass or play something weak. I don't want to give priest good turns.
Yeah,
I
true.
agree.
That Valence Chosen was really good for Unit though. Oh, my goodness!
God.
Tessin is the unluckiest player in this tournament. He's like, I can't believe this. I got implosion for 2 before. Like, what was the unlucky thing he got? Like even the first game, there was something.
Well, that was not important because that was like the Dr. Boom steal.
Oh yeah, with Sylvanas, and now Doomsayer. So he's like, yep, I'm destined not to win this match.
Well, he probably would have won by playing Dr. Boom on free, so already.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But maybe this is again the moment where he just collects himself. He's like, okay, this is my situation. This is my life now. I need to move forward, see what's up.
And he decides to draw again.
Just for the viewers, don't write on Reddit about how unlucky this player is, because this is usually how I feel like players are like kinda finding an excuse for the RNG, right? I lost this match because of the RNG, but there are so many decisions that you can make during the game to make the outcome different.
Yes.
And this is how you progress. If you want to be a successful player in Hearthstone, you don't blame the losses on RNG, even if it's. I agree, of course, there's sometimes games when you just lose because there was some kind of bad luck. But in most situations, you can rewind the game and find at least 2 situations where you could have done something different, which could have been better or was strictly better of what you did instead.
Yeah, well, what Moody suggested with Druid of the Claw seemed a bit better there, just not giving value, and like even if there would not be the Doomsayer. But overall, Tessin is not out yet. He still has a lot of good cards in hand.
I mean, this is a good matchup for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Maybe he will realize it at some point and stop being afraid. Come on, Tessin, we believe in you. At
The
least
thing is, having Druid as your last deck isn't that bad. Like, I wouldn't feel really bad being 0-2, but having Druid, because
Yeah.
Druid,
You can win against everything.
yeah.
yeah, you're right.
And he was so unlucky that if he manages to win this game, he will probably wild growth every turn from next games.
And he will also have morale boost because he's like, oh man, I won this impossible to win matchup. So now I'm on a roll. I can do this.
Excessive trading. I don't know how to feel about that.
And now, as a priest, you don't really have good options. You don't want to light bomb this. You don't want to entomb this.
But the Excavated Evil now was actually good.
Yeah.
And Priest is still at 29 HP. That's quite a good position to be in because you're not intimidated by the fact that your opponent can play Savage Roar and Force of Nature and just...
That's true, but
You know.
this means the game will just go for a couple more turns, and when the Druid takes board control, he will be poised to win, because the combo then deals even more damage. Like, the moment where there are 3 minions, the combo deals 20 damage by itself, plus damage from those minions specifically. And there are not that many AoE cards for Unit anymore, and he is behind on board. Like, he tries to fight back.
I actually would, if I was testing right now, I actually would think about stalling the game until you can get Emperor value and double combo, because it's not.
That's a very good point.
Because Priest is not like Warrior. He can't build up armor.
Yeah.
He will be at 30 hit points. You swing your Druid of the Claw 2 times and then you double combo.
Is he going to play this Dr. Boom just after Unit got Shadow Word Death?
And there's the Cabal Shadow Priest to take the bomb.
Oh man, it's like literally he just drew Shadow Word Death. Tessin was waiting for this moment specifically. I'm
For
just
8 turns.
yeah. I wonder if he knows. The Pyromancer is not needed there.
Yeah, that's a good outcome. That's a perfect outcome. 2/7 minion is not something Druid has an easy way to deal with.
Yeah. You probably just need to silence it to be able to go for face.
But then, if you silence it and there's a Valence Chosen dropping by, that's a problem.
Then
Because you have
silenced again.
Great.
You have
Sounds
told
like a
him,
plan.
Yeah, but you're right. This 4-attack minion is troublesome, and it's not easy to kill it.
Druid of the Claw swipe? I mean swipe Druid of the Claw, sorry. in that order. So you can kill the Death Lord and wait, what? Oh. Okay.
Well,
guess that
I
works
think
too.
Druid saw double Cabal Shadow Priest, right? So he's
Was
not.
it the second one?
Yes, because Priest had 2 in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is not afraid anymore to play Keeper of the Grove.
True. And we've seen one Valence already.
There's still a huge minion on board, and there's no easy way to deal with it unless you want to combo that.
Yeah, but this is a priest, so do you really expect priest to do a lot of damage? Like, Unit at the moment is running out of resources. He only has 2 cards, he has 1 draw card, but 3 cards overall, and if Druid is able to deal with this, he should be in a good spot. He just overvalued the priest.
Well, it's just a bad matchup for the priest, so
Yeah.
at some point Druid will win. That's for sure.
Well, the thing is, as long as Priest has the board, it's really hard to overvalue with that hero power being upgraded. So it's pretty hard to outvalue for 4 health per turn. But if Priest doesn't have the board, then it's another different story.
Tessin just is alright, it's a good body. North Tribe Cleric.
Cleric not really helpful here.
Not yet. He will need a spell to be able to draw some cards. But
I will
he's
just play the Pyromancer here. You need the body on the board.
okay.
You need the body on the board because that's the only way you can battle against the Druid. You need damage output on the board to gain advantage from the Excavated Evil. You might draw next turn because then it's 6 or 7 damage from the Pyromancer, so you can trade with bigger minions. And you just saw a Keeper, so there might and a Wrath and a Swipe. I think double Wrath even. So there's not a lot of options to clear that Pyromancer easily.
Okay. For this turn, I think Keeper killing the 3/2 and Druid of a Claw, because in the taunt form.
Yes, I would like. Right now, Druid has the upper hand.
Yeah.
Priest doesn't have many cards, but you should not overextend.
To Light Bomb.
Yes, to Light Bomb. So Druid should play like really safe, but not too safe, letting giving Priest more cards.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good play.
Yeah, Torsan actually, because you traded with Lothep, so you're good there. Okay. Well, Unit needs cards. Entomb is a card. It's a good card actually. Getting
Not bad.
Torsan out of the board.
Not bad. How many cards are left? Like 5?
11. Anid has 11, but I didn't see Tessin.
Okay. They didn't
Okay.
draw that much this game actually.
Okay, I'm just like, you don't see the edge of the deck.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I'm just looking at it. It's like 2 cards left? 4? Actually 5.
11 for the priest. How many cards for the druid?
5.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so priest can still actually win this if he just clears his board somehow. But to do it, you need.
Needs to excavate evil this to just clear that. Well, actually no. That would be a bad draw. Excavated evil right now. With something.
Yeah, he needs to draw more even.
That's
Oh,
not bad.
Yeah.
Sylvanas would be insane here.
The beast. Okay, this is board.
I was thinking about explosive sheep because with excavated evil,
Yeah, me too.
that sounds like a great card.
Yeah.
So you basically get the sheep and you keep it in your hand. Oh, excavated
No,
evil.
no, you just drop it immediately because your opponent doesn't have a way to heal his own minions, so you don't care about it. Interesting.
Is he going to use the excavated
now-
evil here?
This is such a cool thing with excavated evil. Your opponent just lost a draw.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Like
true.
it doesn't really do anything, and he can't play it because he kills his own minions, so his own win condition. And if you give it back to your opponent because you're in a bad spot,
Then it becomes good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really want this card. Please take it,
Yeah,
don't
take it away.
but don't
But
play
you
it
can give
yourself.
it to me. Yeah.
This is probably the best use of excavated evil that I've seen in competitive play so far.
Because probably that's the second time you see it.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, imagine an excavated evil draw right now. No be so insane. Wait, why are you not healing yourself? If there will be a Savage Roar. 8 damage, 12, 16, 18. And okay, that's close. I mean, if that would be the combo, he would have been dead anyway, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
14,
then
18, 20, 26. Exactly 30. Okay, so that was a good heal. Good thing to heal the Dark Cultist.
So what's your game plan here? Do you try to raise the priest because he doesn't have cards, or you still try to outvalue him with good trades?
I don't think you can outvalue at this point.
So you just go face and hope?
Maybe you just sacrifice the Keeper, you play Force of Nature, kill the 5/8 with the Keeper and Force of Nature, and deal 8 damage to the face.
I
Yes.
agree with that.
But the thing is, you will do only 4 damage face per turn because priest has upgraded hero power. So
you're right.
is it enough to
That's a
close
good
the game?
point.
The problem is like if you don't trade, this dude is just going to kill your
Yeah.
creatures and you will deal even less damage over time. So I think that's the correct play there.
Excavated Evil, Light Bomb,
should be good.
Emperor.
Emperor's
Well, it's a 5/5
5/5 body.
minion, so it's not bad.
yeah, especially because that Excavated Evil is a dead card for now. Alright, Druid running out of cards. 2 cards only for Druid.
Savage Roar. 6 damage. If he would have just ignored the 5/8, he would have won right now. Defensive play wasn't the best play last turn.
Are you sure? Yeah, he probably would.
Yeah, because you deal additional 2 damage to the
And
to
you
the
have Force of
face.
Nature overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think Druid has another Savage Roar in hand. In deck.
Didn't he use
Double-
it
double-
for
sure.
the combo with the Deathlords?
Yeah, you're right. So he doesn't have,
Force. He has Force. One more Force.
or he used only
No,
force.
no, no. He used the full combo.
Oh.
Okay.
He used
Oh
the
yeah,
full
yeah.
combo.
You're right. So this is the last Savage Roar he has.
Last Savage Roar, and there are no more Force of Natures. So I think what is left?
One
One
Ancient of
Innervate?
Floor, maybe.
I think he used both.
Ancient
You
of
had
Floor.
to use both to get so low on cards, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Almost
Well,
out
we'll
of
see.
cards. Is that
Swipe, maybe?
Yes, there's under the swipe. Ooh, Azure Drake into swipe.
yeah, that's good.
Light bomb now. He needs a light bomb.
If he gets a light bomb, he will be able to.
I think you should.
wins the game.
I think.
But in this situation, that's 11 damage to the face.
How is Savage your hero power? And kill the zombie chow, and I think you have little next turn.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Or you want Savage your to.
What about just swipe hero power?
Yeah, I think swipe hero. I think swipe hero power was better.
Sorry, swipe and just go face.
Okay,
This
so
turn.
You can
could-
swipe face and hero power the zombie chow because you have spell power.
that will
But
be
you didn't
it.
have enough mana.
Oh.
That would be it anyway, so it doesn't matter what he did. But this game was closer than expected with 5 cards. If he would get the second light bomb, he would just win right here.
Yep.
There would not be enough damage.
Unit was very close to win this matchup, although he was so unfavored in the beginning. Wait, what?
What is he doing?
I don't know. I mean, it's lethal anyway. So
Yeah.
just the narrows are getting into him.
So this
Gives
should
him a
be-
card!
This would be a relief for Tessin.
That
No.
was Curator. That was light bomb. Yes, Tessin is back in his seat, and well, he didn't go anywhere actually. He's still there, but
That was a really
it's not
weird
that.
game because it should have been
Over.
done at like turn 5.
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is another example of what we were saying yesterday. A lot of players are still inexperienced when it comes to broadcast events, and you are starting to be very defensive in most of those situations. When you're nervous, you're playing too safe, and then you're being punished by situations like that. An example, by the Doomslayer, because you're trading too much, because you're just trying to be the player that has the board control. You play the arena game. And most likely your opponent can take advantage of your mistakes and outplay you. And that almost happened. If you need with top deck a single light bomb or an excavated evil, the game would have been done.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he was really close, and he has a couple of outs right there. Even something like
Entomb.
would
That was
I think
one
he had
Entomb.
2 entombs already. What about Sludge Belcher? Would Sludge Belcher stop this? Like there was swipe and
It would
Savage in
help.
the hand.
It will stall another turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many ways, but he didn't get it, and we believe it was a good matchup for Tessin to begin with. Tessin didn't believe that, so he should be happy about winning that unfavored matchup in his eyes. And right now, Unit still has a Warlock and Warrior. We don't know exactly what he's playing. He might be playing
I'm thinking
control.
about the explosive ship here.
Yeah,
but
me too. I think it was better.
But it probably wouldn't help because he didn't draw a single Holy Nova from the last 7 cards. Like the Holy Nova would be awesome, would have been awesome. The Excavated Evil would have been awesome. The Light One would have been awesome. But even without the sheep, all those cards would have won him the game.
Yeah.
Even the Holy Nova, if it would have been able to deal with the Big Game Hunter before he was trading with a minion from the Priest.
That's
A
true.
very interesting match.
We did focus a lot on Tessin during those matches, but I have to say that the Unit is playing really well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the priest that he brought here was really interesting. Won him 2 games. He was playing it, I would say, almost flawlessly. Maybe some options could have been different, but in general, he was playing very well.
Yeah, and you can see he has experience playing in those LAN tournaments because he doesn't show nerves. He's really calm, just looking at Tessin from time to time and playing his game.
I can already see that Anid is a player that prepares really good for tournaments.
My God, what?
So we have Fibonacci Warrior.
Fibonacci Warrior, apparently.
But why would you pick that into the Druid? Does it have a good matchup against Druid? I would say it's practically the same as the Control Warrior, right?
Actually, if you have
Maybe
Bash,
his other deck is Rhinolock, and he prefers
but Rhinolock is not that bad against Druids, right?
It's unfavored.
Yeah, it's unfavored.
But is it more unfavored than Warrior?
Well, this kind of warrior, like what is specific for Fibonacci Warrior?
He plays Tournament Magic, he plays Deathwing. It shouldn't be that good, but maybe he has maybe he's really confident in
matchup.
his
Yeah, exactly.
Because the thing is, if you lose with Warrior, you will still have Warlock left. So
Yeah, exactly. So it probably doesn't matter that much. I think the card that we should look at is Bash. I think the Slam Bash Warrior overall has a better matchup versus Druid than the standard Control Warrior.
Yes.
I think you're still unfavored a bit, but it's closer to 50-50 now.
If there is a version that gives you more chances against Druid, that's the one.
Yeah, exactly. But this will be really cool to see here at Tavern Tales PGL Spring Season. There's a Wild Growth for Tessin, but this Shade of Extremas is really tempting as well, especially because you don't have a turn 4 play.
To be honest, I would have gone for the Wild Growth. Azure Drake, building up the advantage, getting the another card for the Emperor, and then having discounted Shadow of Extremis after the Brawl seems like a very good option, because Shadow of Extremis is one of the minions that can survive, that can build you up the board after a cleanup, right? They can't be attacked with weapon.
Yes. So I think you play Wild Growth, right? He tries to bluff.
It's like, oh, do I play my Shredder or do I play my Wild Growth?
Do I play my Innervate?
Tessin still doesn't know what he's facing specifically, but after seeing Bash, he suspects.
Yeah, he probably assumes that it's Control Warrior, and for sure he's relieved it's not Patron.
Yeah. Still, looking at Unit's hand, Lothar, do you like it? There's the Death Spite, Sylvanas, Brawl. It seems pretty okay.
Well, Sylvanas is convincing against Druid. Most of the time, there's no keeper. You can just swing the board around, and suddenly you're in a position to win. Solely because you had Sylvanas. So I like that a lot.
I think this matchup game plan for Warrior is just remove all Druid threats and then win with Justicar Hero Power.
Yeah.
And get out of reach of the combo.
Exactly.
And as a Druid, there are two possible gameplays. You either use combo and focus combo, try killing your opponent, or you use combo to remove the board and try to kill him with your minions.
Yeah.
So he should decide what strategy he wants to apply.
Well, first he needs to decide what to do with Sylvanas, because he didn't get Keeper of the Grove.
If you want to win this game, you have to play Belcher and go face, but it will be heavily punished by the Brawl. But there's usually only one Brawl, right?
Yes.
But you can sacrifice 2 minions for Sylvanas and lose 9 damage to the face.
And Belcher is also like dying to the weapon attack, So this is a perfect situation for Unit. He stood 25, which is not threatening at all, and he can play Justicar, which is not even contested.
This is a perfect scenario for the warrior. It's like, yeah, I just avoided a huge swing to my face. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
My armor is almost intact. It's just dirty.
I've dealt with Shade, with Azure Drake, easy. And 22 is a really good spot as well. Especially,
I mean, is a really good top deck.
If you would deal the phase damage, that would probably be the bad play, because we know there's a brawl.
Yeah.
But from the player's perspective, when you have to see and think clearly how do you want to win the game, you're just like, yeah, I need to deal the damage. I need to build up the board and hope that your opponent doesn't have a way to just clean it up, right? And then you stack up the damage, you ignore the fact that the Savannah isn't on board, you get a Savage Roar without Force of Nature, just push it.
Like, honestly, Lothar, the more I think about it, it's not even the brawl. If you play Belcher into that board, if he attacks with the Death Spite into Belcher, he can just slam the 1-2, or like bash the 1-2, and then Savannah stacks into Azure Drake, and you lose the Shade, which is a 5-5.
But you're still dealing damage to the face.
Yeah, 9 damage.
9 damage is a huge chunk of health.
It was a tough call there, definitely.
And now you're out of resources. Look at that.
Yes.
You're aware that how does, even if you don't know that this is like the tournament medic wacky stuff,
You're still in a
you
bad
still
spot
know
for
that
Druid.
that's a warrior. And what does the warrior do? Well, build up the armor and finish off your creatures with a 1-minute spell, right?
Especially after True Heart.
Yeah, with the tank up, it's so easy. So when you're out of Ancient of Lords, I think that was the factor, right? If you know that you have Ancient of Lord, then you might have been trading with Sylvanas, but when you don't have Ancient of Lord and you can't replace the cards that you're losing to it, then the damage output is way more important.
True. And now Uni takes initiative, suddenly, with Harrison Jones being the pressure card. Goes up to 23, so it looks really bad for Tessin. Even Dr. Boom is something.
That's a big game hunter. So, sure. I mean, you probably have to play it anyway. You don't have anything else in your hand, and you would like to get Force of Nature for the Emperor to play, right?
Yes, he probably wants to get some good value for the Emperor.
Because it dies with the weapon as well, so not developing anything is not gonna work here.
Yeah, the thing is, if you don't develop anything, your hero power is strictly worse than him.
Yeah, it's like actually denying the work you did before. Tessin is actually nodding his head, so he knows what version of the deck this is. He recognizes it. But now all the work he did in the early turns, that just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now you just lost the advantage, lost the pressure you had because of the wild growth and innervates. And you're getting outvalued by a tournament medic. This is the first time I say that. It's probably last, but
not necessarily. I think after rotation we'll see a lot of tournament medic in control decks.
Hopefully. I would love to see some inspired decks, you know? I mean, I was playing it on my stream because they're fun, but they're not effective most of the time.
Yeah.
Against the metagame.
Well, this deck actually is quite effective overall, but far from being a full inspired deck. I would like to see those as well. Okay. Shade is not doing much. There is no pressure for Unit at the moment, but he doesn't even need pressure.
Yeah, exactly. As long as there is no pressure, we can hero power. And if Druid is overcommitting, you have double brawl in hand. So
that's a very good draw. That's a decent draw. You can still cycle and
combo is really good.
Yeah. So
finally with Torison. If he gets a second Savage Roar, he will be open to a really nice combo overall.
Big game hunter. So now let's see the warrior side. He will use one of the shield slams, or he will hesitate to use the brawl unless there will be a point when he dies the combo with the shade.
Yeah.
Right. But he will be armoring up every single turn. So.
Well, he had an opportunity to kill the shade last turn. He could have just attacked. All right, going for the brawl.
The revenge.
Yeah, and the weapon attack.
Unlucky.
What do you think if the Druid just waits until he gets Emperor value on double Force, double Savage Roar, and an Innervate to deal double, like I don't
Yeah,
know how much.
I know what you're
It
saying.
might still not be enough. Like, let's say, like, double combo is 22. Let's say Shade will be at 8-8. So
No, but
in 4 turns.
you play double force.
Oh, double force, double Savage Roar.
Yes, I'm not sure how much damage is that, but
Well, that's 12 minions. Let's say there is 7 minions on board. So basically, double Savage Roar gets you 7.
How do you want to play double Force of Nature and double Savage Roar?
you get Emperor value and you have an Innervate. I think it's
Didn't
enough.
he use 2 already? One was used for the Palette Shredder, and
He used 2.
I'm not sure. Might have been using 1, but like the card draw from the Druid is not low, so getting that combo is the chances of getting that combo might not be that high right now. Oh wow, he's attacking with the Shade. That's like his ticket to
Yes,
win.
yes.
That wasn't good.
Well, I guess if he played low tap, so he thinks he's safe,
But that doesn't matter for the Shield Slam, which is for 6 mana, and it's a good deal. 6 mana, deal 5 damage
Yeah.
to a minion, or 6 or X is just an okay deal. When you think about it, it's just a hard removal.
I would just keep the Shade, just grow from turn to turn until it reaches, like, I don't know.
I think Tessin reached a point where he's playing by default. He doesn't really have a plan for this game specifically. He doesn't really know how to win this.
He's strong minions and hoping
to
Anid,
stick.
Anid doesn't have an answer.
Yeah, exactly.
But it isn't working so far for him.
Still more than 30 health for Unid. And Unid is presenting exactly what we discussed in the very beginning, the heavy control approach. He brought the most control, the biggest control decks there are, right? Like, especially if that's the Reno Lock, being the last one.
French stuff, what can you do?
It's good.
But I love how people were like, on Reddit and Twitch chat are bashing on aggro decks, and they want to see control decks in tournaments. But then when they see a control meta in tournaments, it's like, oh my god, bring back face shamans and face hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so boring, right?
Yeah.
Well, this matchup is mostly... it's really hard to say what can Druid do. Like, from our perspective...
Combo out.
I guess, yeah, right? That's the only way to win.
There's additional damage with the 0 mana Living Roots.
Yeah, sure. So we
Let's
just double 4, double Savage Roar, Living Roots.
Let's count the damage then. Like, double Force of Nature into Savage Roar is...
6. We counted with empty board, right? 6 minions. So
6
Savage Roar is 14 damage each. So 28 damage with double Savage Roar, and then you have
26.
12 from the Treants. So that's 40 damage from 2 Force of Nature's.
Wait, 1 Savage Roar. Double Force, 1 Savage Roar. So double Force is 12.
Moody was talking about 2 Savage Roars.
Double 4, double Savage Roar.
Okay. Will he be able to do it though? Because this is 12 mana.
Now that he doesn't have the second Force of Nature, so the second Savage Roar in hand, it's not possible.
Yeah, so like let's talk about this. How much damage this is? This is 12 plus 7, 14, 26, 28 with the Living Roots. And if he has another 1 minion, that's 30 plus the minion attack.
Yeah, I will believe that you're right. It's too hard to... Math is too hard.
Math is too hard, okay. Moody, well, I have to ask you, like, how are you feeling about this match overall? Who would you like to face, Unit or Tessin? Because you're facing the winner of this.
Well, I'm probably gonna face Tessin. I would like to know, so I would probably face Anid. Based on these games, I would like to face Tessin.
Okay.
But I think I will have some problems because Anid seems the player that he really knows what he's doing, and he will probably scout my decks. But the good thing is I don't know what I want to bring yet. So if I don't know, he can't.
He can't counter.
Yeah, he can't counter me.
Unit was, I think, top 8 DreamHack Summer as well last year.
Was he?
Yeah.
That was a French player, but I don't think that was Unit.
Yeah, I think that was Unit, and he actually lost in the first match, but he made it top 8 DreamHack Summer. I don't know who defeated him.
Oh, look at that! Innovate. So now he actually can double Force of Nature Savage Roar. So that's 12,
31.
13. Yep.
Should be 31, which is a lot, but still not enough.
Still not enough.
Sounds ridiculous though.
Yeah, right.
Wait, but can he win next year?
Well, if there is more damage than the Treants, but then like, actually the small Treant is
There's no way.
limiting them.
There's no way. it can be
Yeah. So you're sitting at, how much damage is this? 28, right? Without anything. So 28 damage. But there is 43 at the moment. Even more. 47. And almost out of cards. He just fatigued the Druid. Unit is like, come at me, bro. I still have a lot of armor to spend.
Azure Drake, not the best minion you want to see right now.
Especially with fatigue coming.
Well, he wants to see any kind of minions,
Yeah.
so...
Even Angry Chicken. Have you actually noticed that your opponent in the show match had an Angry
I
Chicken
was like... what?
in the Secret Paladin?
But I burned it, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, you did. But Tessin in a really in a bind. It's a really tough situation. We're back to the wall. You're facing this 24 armor wall. How do you go through it? Even though you have so much damage, you don't have enough. Second Savager, but not enough mana to cast everything.
Welp, this sucks.
So he wants to use Force right now and then double combo, or no?
Maybe just one combo now, a second combo.
Yeah.
But it's not enough, right?
Yeah, just showing, hey, I have cards.
After the full combo with one more creature than usual, the warrior is still at 30.
Yeah, full health. And we haven't seen Deathwing yet. Where's the Deathwing? Come on, you need draw cards, show Deathwing.
Wanna draw first? No!
No, he's not even drawing because he's like a fatigue match. Alright, Tessin gives up. We haven't seen Deathwing, but we have seen Tournament Medic, and Unit is the winner. He takes this 3-2.
3-1.
3-1.
To be honest, it should have been 3-0. Seeing how the draws were panning out against the priest against the druid, like I would love to see 3-0 with that priest, and he was really close to it. Like he just needed one top deck, the one light bomb, the one excavated evil, the one holy nova, and he would have won this game against being unfavored against the druid.
You
So
played extremely
fortunately,
well.
we don't have that story, but
Well, he's coming for an interview.
Yep.
So Unit is
No,
joining
stay
us
here,
in
stay
just a
here.
moment. Hello, man. First, congratulations for winning.
Thank you.
And you played Priest. Oh, you almost 3-0'd with Priest.
Yeah, almost.
So what was the reasoning? Like you did in the interview, you said you throw away Mage. You don't want to play Mage anymore. Is Priest the best class you could get for this opponent?
Actually, I played against Tessin in the
in the Swiss,
yeah, and I knew his lineup. I knew he played Zoo, Paladin, Secret, and Grim Patron. So I thought Priest is favorable against all of these classes. That's why.
Nice.
Okay.
And Excavated Evil did really good
That's
job.
amazing.
With that. Yeah.
Against the three special decks,
Yeah.
these three decks in particular, it's amazing.
we were really surprised that your opponent didn't pick druid against your priest.
Me
after
too.
this.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I was just
I
wondering.
don't get why he didn't pick Priest immediately.
Druid
and,
into
Priest,
Druid, yeah.
Yep.
All right. So was there anything in those matches that surprised you overall, or were you just playing your A game?
I don't have many games with the Priest deck because I just constructed it this morning. I played some games on ladder with it and it was okay, but you know on ladder you play against Rogue, Maligos, against
of course.
anything. So I was kind of hoping it would work out. It can get very bad draws sometimes, and I got really lucky 3 games.
Okay. And you also want to ask, this is your moment, you're the victor, you advance to tomorrow. But in the interview, you've mentioned that Vince is one of the, might be one of the best players here.
Yeah.
So who is Vince?
He's a new kind of young player from the French community. He's playing for Métis Esports, and I actually yesterday I played next to him and I saw his games when I was waiting for my opponent to rope or something, and it was really impressive. He 3-0'd with Reno OTK Warlock.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice to get some more players into our community, tournament community, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you played extremely well, and also the tournament medic and warrior was a lot of fun. So is it Fibonacci list? Well, you don't have to tell us exactly, but
Actually, when I create deck lists, I go from stream to stream, and yesterday I was an hot form stream, and he played one. Originally, this list is from VLPS,
Okay.
the American streamer, but I kind of tweaked it around to be good against Tessin lineup.
Can you tell us if there was Deathwing inside?
No, not the thing. The highest card is Gromash, but I don't have any target for BGH besides Gromash.
Okay.
So I have one question. How do you feel about your tomorrow match?
You play versus Moody.
Yeah, I know. I think it's gonna be okay. I get to change my decks, and I can play a lot of decks at the moment. So maybe no priest. I will see, but I'm confident.
Let the mind games.
All right. So
start.
Moody, Unit is confident. Are you confident as well?
Of course. I am. We'll see.
Okay, guys. You did really well today. You advanced to the second day. So you doubled the money. You are getting some HCT points for the Hearthstone Championship Tour, but there is still much more to get. So I just have to wish you good luck tomorrow, both of you. And thank you so much, Moody, for joining us on the casting couch.
Thank you for having me.
And that will be it for this round. We still have much more Hearthstone to come in the upcoming rounds because today we're deciding the whole top 8. So stay with us. But now we're going into a short break to prepare the next match. See you guys in a moment.